Finally, we have the the Gannon Buhr Horizon Color Glow C-Line Cloudbreaker. Look how absolutely beautiful this is. It's like a bluish, purplish, swirly. This thing is amazing. And of course, I had to bring the 3 other Cloudbreakers, the Eagle McMahon Cloudbreakers, just so we could see the flight comparisons and the feel. At the end, of course, we're gonna have the Eagle versus Gannon battle on who really owns the Cloudbreaker. Just to kind of clear some things up at first, you had an innocent little DD3. Eagle McMahon loved it. He then turned that into his signature series disc. You had the 1, the 2, the 3. They're all hella expensive, but then locked into the foundation, they turned that from a signature series into a creator series. That's these. But now that Eagle has left, they've then passed the torch on to Gannon, making this the Gannon Buhr Cloudbreaker. It bothered me just a little bit, I will admit, because like when you think of a Cloudbreaker, you think of Eagle McMahon. The man made the disc. So then to just kind of give it to Gannon feels weird, but I like to think of it as just Eagle did big things for Discmania. Gannon comes into the equation and is just killing it at Discmania. So like I said, I think this is more of like a passing the torch, or at least that's how I like to think of it. I wish Gannon had his own little disc, but here it is. As far as the looks of all of these, I'm not noticing a difference at all as far as thickness, dominess, nothing. None of these really have a dome to them. When I compare all 4 to each other, they all look identical. But as far as feel, without a doubt, this is the most gummy out of all of them. You can sit there and mangle this thing. When I got it in the mail, as soon as I busted it out of the box, I can feel my thumb pressing into the center. I can just feel it. Not the case with all these. These are all pretty stiff. Now, however, these are all S-line. This being a Horizon as well, this is the Horizon and C-Line. So I think that's why we're noticing a little bit more gumminess in it. Now for the flight. When you let Discmania tell you about this Gannon Buhr Cloudbreaker, it tells you that this is the most overstable out of all of the other previous Cloudbreakers. Now to put that to the test, I had to throw these. So we started off with the OG, the first ever special S-Blend Horizon Cloudbreaker. And this is just a perfect mid spot. When you launch this thing, you're gonna get a slow little drift to the right, and then you're gonna have that nice overstable finish towards the end. And there's your Cloudbreaker. The next one made, we had the S-Line Horizon Cloudbreaker. Horizon plastic being a little bit more overstable. When I hit this one, I still got the turn, but at the end I got a little bit more of the finish. So whereas this one kind of gave me that forward finishing hyzer, this one kind of dumped quicker. So you don't really notice the overstability in the flight because you're still getting the drift right when you throw this on a backhand, but you do notice it at the end because this wants to come down a lot quicker than this one. So like I said, not necessarily overstable in the flight, just overstable in the finish. So now we move on to the swirly S-Line, the last one of Eagle. This is without a doubt the most flippy. You hit this on a touch of hyzer out left, it's just gonna hold drift right the entire way and then kind of finish flat at the end. It's not really giving you any type of finishing forward, just kind of pans out flat. One of the bombers in my opinion. And then we finally get to see Gannon's. Now with this one, because of what Discmania said, I was expecting not necessarily a beefcake, but definitely some overstability, no turn. But when I threw this thing, I still got the turn, and then I still had that overstable finish. Kind of similar to the Horizon and S-Line, but I don't think this one is more overstable at all. I mean, it's pretty similar to this one, but just not as beefy as I thought. I mean, they're even saying that this is gonna be perfect for people who have like that max distance. You can really throw an S-Line and get the full flight out of it. I'm not that buff. I don't have the speed, and I'm still getting that out of it. So it just kind of confused me a little bit, I will say. Like I said, I expected this to be just a touch more overstable. It wasn't the case. It's not flippy by no means, just not as beefy as the Horizon Cloudbreaker. But now I think we put this to the test. Who's the real Cloudbreaker, Eagle or Gannon? By the way, if you guys are enjoying the video, please like it. That helps a lot on the channel. You can subscribe too. It's kind of eye candy, but I like a little sub every once in a while. And it is crazy a difference it makes whenever I tell you guys to do so. So thank you very much. Usually I go big backhand bomber to start the day, but we'll save that comparison at the end. We're gonna go forehand bomber, starting off with Gannon Buhr. Whoever goes the farthest will get the first point of the day. Big flex. And a little skip at the end. Now for Mr. Eagle and the OG Cloudbreaker. That's not the OG, it's the Horizon, but it's down there. I think the other one might have them though. So we have Eagle clocked in over here at 375. Up here by Mr. Gannon, we have him. It is ticking up. 368, there's no way. This one's clearly farther. We cannot go based off of UDisc. UDisc is capping, right? That doesn't make any sense. It was obviously in front. I don't know who we give the point to. Do we trust technology or do I trust what I can literally see with my own eyes? Okay, I think we literally trust my own eyes. UDisc is plus or minus 15 feet, and that was definitely minus 15 feet. I mean, Gannon won that one without a doubt. And by the way, whenever I was doing that little field test, it wasn't just one throw and then I came to a conclusion. I stayed out there and I was ripping the disc several times, and every single time, Gannon was just a little bit more flippy. So that's why we're gonna do the comparison out here to really see them directly next to each other for 9 holes straight. Here we are on hole 2, 300 feet, another forehand. We're done with the technology. 3 points for a park job, 2 points for C1, 1 point for C2. Eagle now has the box. It's looking pretty good. Definitely inside C1. I'm not gonna pretend that he's any less stable. I'm just gonna put it on the same line for now. A little bit more flip. There's the drift. That 2 is also in C1. Both of these cats landed inside C1, so that's 2 points each. Gannon still has the lead. We are gonna play just a handful of the holes out here, and then we're gonna move over to the gold layout where we're gonna play some pro level holes. Moving on to the next hole, we got some elevation this time, uphill. Gonna play the turnover shot. We're putting the forehands on the back burner for now. Trusting it out left on some Annie. I do not want this hyzering back left and going down the hill. Stay up on it. Short. Didn't give it the juice. Now for eagle, we get the wind read, just a little bit more on the anhyzer release. Both short. 350. Boy, that's embarrassing. I'm out here finessing a distance driver instead of just ripping a shot. Both of these landed inside C1, so that's just 1 point each. Gannon still has the lead. No finesse on this one. 380. We bombing them. None of this finesse fugazi stuff. We're doing a hyzer rip out towards the basket. Straight. And then crash on the basket. That was a drop. Circle's edge. Gannon, can we fix that at all? A little bit more of a hyzer. We got that to flip to flat. That should carry me up there and get us closer. C1, maybe even a park job. So that right there, 1, is a prime example of why I had to throw so many shots out there at the soccer complex. And 2, why making comparison videos are so hard, because with that shot, kept the nose up on this one, didn't really see the full flight, kept the nose down on this one, you actually got to see the full flight. So comparing discs are not easy. This guy was parked though. This one made it barely inside C1. 2 point lead from Mr. Gannon. So we've got the island hole, then we're gonna have the backhand distance competition, and then we'll end on 3 of the pro level holes out here at Old Post. It is now Gannon's turn. Can we stick the island? Even better, can we get a park job? That was incredibly high, out of frame. Okay, well, we shanked it. Well, it is fair now. They're even on nose up ugly shots. Now for the Cloudbreaker to make the correction and get some points on Gannon. I think I'm getting some type of wind lift out there though. Ah! Oh, we're good. I thought I was looking in the water for some ripples. All right, so we did have some wind left to right that I didn't really account for. I didn't feel it up there at the tee pad. Probably should have released that a little bit more flat. I kept doing hyzer. I was getting the wind lift and moving right, but this one landed inside C1, 2 points, Gannon chilling, and C2 only made up 1 point on the man. This hole's only gonna be worth 1 point. We're doing a backhand distance competition out at the soccer complex. I was focusing on being more smooth and consistent. We're gonna get a little reckless on this one. Cloudberry Horizon first, I think. Max distance, flat release, full pump. Where is this thing gonna land? Nice drift right. Then the finish at the end. Oh, that thing was freaking down there. Dang, I'm gonna have to trust U-Disc again, and that homie a bozo. Here we go, same line. At least I'm gonna try my best. Little nose up again. A lot more drift. It was higher though, so we're gonna see more of a finish. Those are both gonna be down there. So we can visually see our winner, but let's see what U-Disc has to say about it. We've got Gannon clocked in at 431 feet. I mean, this should be at least 440, so we'll see. 450. There we go, it worked that time. Tied ball game. 3 holes left and we're on the pro side of the course. We've got a par 5, then a par 4, then a par 3, and it's all unique in their own ways. This one, of course, being a par 5, you have to get on the fairway or get as much distance as possible before going off the fairway. It's now Gannon's turn, tied ball game. Got to hit this gap flat, having it slowly drift right the entire way. Get off the branch. Might have been a helpful branch. It kept me in the fairway, I guess. Cloudbreaker, I do think this thing's a touch more stable, so a little bit more Annie on the release. That is cooked. We got a lot more distance. We are gonna be off the fairway slightly. We got 3 more shots though. So if you get somewhat far down the fairway, there's actually 2 options. You can go outright or continue going straight. We're a little short with Gannon, so we're gonna have to keep going straight. In other words, being like a forehand flex shot. Not really ideal for a run up. So we're gonna go standstill. I'm kind of aiming at that little orange pull out there on an Annie release. Gonna see if we can make it out past those trees and have an eye on the basket. That, I couldn't have asked for a better shot. Oh, we're so far down there. We should have another forehand into the green. We might even be able to see the pin. So there's the option right if you can make it out there. Unfortunately, I'm still a little pinched off. I also don't feel like walking way out there to the right. So we're gonna keep going with the forehand down this straight gap. Another standstill. I am a lot closer, so the gap isn't as intimidating. Same game plan, a little bit of Annie on the release, get down there past the trees. Oh, I love an overstable distance driver. Just freaking, yeah, the thing on Annie and just have it flex on down there. So we have eyes on the pin. The only problem is I'm like 250 feet away, so I'm gonna have to finesse the DD3. And I've got a tree in the way. You know what, I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna go big Spy Kaiser and just go over the top of all these trees and see if I can get it to kind of crash down by the basket. Out of frame, sorry about that, ladies and gents. You'll see it in just a second. Worked out perfectly. Now we have eagle way up here, big chillin', probably outside C2. Trying to figure out how I want to do this. It's an easy pitch up to a possible like park job, but low key I want to get an eagle with the eagle, you know? No! Oh, we freaking wasted that. I got greedy. Spy Kaiser barely got us 2 points. My run, I don't know if you can see it, he's right behind that little branch. That's 2 points each. They made it to C1. Honestly, the hardest part was the upshot at the very end trying to finesse these. I usually go backhand on the second shot on that par 5, but the forehand seemed to work out today, so I might have to kind of rethink that entire game plan. On to the par 4. So now we've got this amazing hole. You have to have a forehand if you want to get the birdie. It is impossible to get a backhand into the green. Plain and simple. The second shot is the hardest one. This first shot is getting a little bit more difficult now they've got a big tree growing in the way. I say we cut it, but who am I? I think it's Eagle's turn now. All we gotta do is get through the gap and as far left as absolutely possible. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay. That's fair. I was gonna say that I missed my line big time. You're trying to go left, all right? Here's Gannon. Eagle isn't really out of play, but if I can get Gannon more left, that is definitely more beneficial. Get low. Ah! We got left. I lost a little bit of distance, but we made it left. I've got probably all of 400 feet to get to the pin. I need to go as straight as possible though, because death is right. So if I can keep going straight, that could get me into like C2, anything early. Nah, nope, that's not happening. That's jail. 0, big fat 0. The door is now wide open for Gannon. I've got a lot more room to kind of flex something down there. I got to get as much distance as possible before finishing to the right. Oh, we overflexed it. Damn, I choked this hole. Dang it! Bozos cannot be playing this hole. You won't get the birdie. So here's all that death to the right that I was talking about. You can still see lots of trees before you can get to the pin. And if you turn it over here to the left, you get an actual wide open shot to the green. However, neither one of these shots are inside C2 for the bird. We're in the battle on the toughest par 3 out here, 420 feet, but you've got this mound and a low ceiling that's gonna keep you in check. Backhand turnover is kind of the most reasonable play. I've only gotten the birdie ever landing inside C2. C1 is damn near impossible. But here we go. Who can get inside C2 to take the point? Gannon Buhr up first. That was a quick no. This is kind of a lame hole to end it on, but maybe something will get down there. Get through the gap. Yo! Get down there, keep going, keep going, keep going. That might have done it. I think we got into C2. And I'm definitely hitting that putt. I want to see if I can get the birdie. There we have it, ladies and gents. Eagle McMahon took the dub. I want all of your guys' opinion on what you think about Gannon Buhr's Cloudbreaker. It's definitely beautiful, I'll say that. But as far as the naming on the disc, let me know what you guys think. And again, Discmania, thank you so much for sending me this disc. You know I love a good 12-5, -1-3. Here we go. Can we get the birdie?